said, our topic today will be mainly related to data segmentation, how you can segment the data either with the predefined default features, filters that we have, or how you can customize your segmentations and build up your own tags and rules, and how to empower your analytical reports, dashboards, for example, with those segmented mentions. And as usual, we're going to have a very short quiz and, of course, in Q&A. As you know, for those who are quite along with YouScan, they probably know that we do have a lot of default regular filters and also like a set of filters that we internally call smart filters, and they are powered by our owned AI technology. So we actually built those AI technologies long before OpenAI or BART existed. So they serve our clients for quite many years, and they become more powerful with the time, of course. And those smart filters are mainly the sentiments, trends, autocategories, subjects, aspects, and author interest and occupations. There are a few differences. As you can see here on my screenshot on the right sidebar, I just highlighted in the red square the labels that you see. Those labels are actually the filters that you see in a regular filter section. And you can always filter and narrow down your mention stream by those filters, labels, whatever you call it. Our smart filters, they are segmented into two minor blocks, so to say. So the sentiments and the trends, they do work for all possible languages, for most of the languages, let's say like 198 or something. So it's basically like a multilingual algorithm. And the other set of the filters, such as autocategories, aspects, subjects, authors' interests, and occupations, they do work for just a certain set of languages, mainly languages from the European family. But this is something you can do by default in the system, right? So you just click on the filters and you can narrow down your results. With the help of those filters, you can right away build up things called tags in our system. And this is something that is more customizable usually. So let's say you don't want to, like play back and forth with the filters every time you go on the tool on a daily basis. And you know that you have a specific, you want to have, let's say, specific views with dimensions based on different criterias, and you want to just click once and see them all right away, like let's say within one folder. So here comes the functionality with the tags. And with the tags, you have a couple of main use cases that you can cover. So basically, you can build up different sets of tags and build up hierarchy. So you can build up, let's say, a tag that's going to be called like group 1, group 2, and then group some other tags beneath those tags. Also, you can use the tags when you build up something called text search. In YouScan, let's say you want to filter out specific group of mentions by specific keywords. You can use the tags in order to just mark those mentions. And next time you go in the system, you just click on this tag in the filters and you will have a specific set of mentions already there in your account. The only disadvantage of the regular manual tagging is the fact that it's manual, right? It requires a lot of your manual input. And usually we do not suggest to do that manually unless you just need to do something very quickly, or you have just a very short, small project that does not require a lot of time to set those tags, right? In case you want to segment the data with the tags on a regular basis, we always suggest to use the automated way how to do that. And this is the next slide. By the way, everything that we're going to see here, I'm going to show in the tool in the system afterwards as well, just to make sure you know where all those buttons are. And speaking about the automated segmentation, we do have such a functionality that is called rules, right? And with those rules, you can set up automated processes of tagging of the specific mentions, right? So imagine you just go with the search of the hotel name or of some situation, promotion, and so on and so forth. And you can teach the system to assign the tag to those mentions manually every time a new mention with the within the required criteria gets into the topic. So basically, this fully vanishes your manual work. You just create the rule once, and you can assign those tag to the retrospective data. Let's say you might have 1 to 3 years of the retrospective data. You can tag them manually via this rule retrospectively, and every single time the new mention will comply with specific search results that you have, is going to get a tag assigned as well. There is a last, well, let's say we have a certain like levels of the segmentation. Like the first one was the default segmentation that we have in the filters. The second one was the manual tagging. The third one, the tagging via rules. And the last but not least is something that we call smart tags. Smart tags is an additional module that we do offer to those businesses that are operating within very common brand name, for example. Let's say, let me just give you the idea what the algorithm does. So we can teach the tool to assign tags manually, and we can teach it like the tool can read our behavior and learn from our behavior. And as a smart algorithm that is powered by the machine learning, it will assign the tags the way you do it, so based on your behavior. So this functionality is called smart tags, and usually we do use it for in such cases like when the brand name, for example, imagine you are doing the brand health analysis, right? So you're coming not from the agency, but you're coming from the brand company, and the brand name is quite broad. Let's say usually brand names that are related to specific surnames are quite broad. Let's say Brunswick. There is a lot of businesses in the US that have the same brand name Brunswick, because it's like and it's also like a name for specific areas in the US. Like let's say there is the East Brunswick city, West Brunswick City, and so on and so forth. Then we also have Brunswick Province in the Canada. We do have Brunswick Duchess in the UK, and we do have Brunswick as the geographical locations in Australia. So all of those mentions would be pulled by the English language. They will all consist of Brunswick, but we specifically need to distinguish mentions related to Brunswick as the manufacturer of boats, sailing boats, right? So, and in such cases, smart tags is the best solution, because with the automated tagging, like I showed on the previous slide, it would be unlikely possible to get rid of the most of, not the most, like some of the relevant mentions that will still pop up on a on a regular basis in a topic, because you never know like what could be named Brunswick in 2 months, let's say. And in this case, if we would teach the tool, our machine learning, our algorithm, like what type of dimensions we consider to be relevant for us, then based on our behavior, the tool will start tagging those specifically relevant mentions by itself and send the relevant mentions into the bin. So basically mentions that will be related in any way to the boats manufacturer, sailing, and so on and so forth, like or the products that are sold within the boats industry overall, like marine industry overall. Those mentions, they will get the tag of like irrelevant tag automatically right away. And the rest of the mentions, let's say about the Duchess in the UK or province in the Canada or any type of other businesses, like let's say there is another brand, Brunswick pools in the US. So those type of mentions, they will be redirected to the bin right away. So let me show you very quickly all those 4 approaches that I just showed you on the first 4 slides. So first and foremost, we were talking about the built-in smart filters, and they are all placed under the regular filters section. If you click here, you will see that we have sentiments, auto categories, aspects, subjects, and of course trends, right? So these are 4 categories of the filters that are powered by our internal artificial intelligence algorithms. And as I mentioned, such things like sentiments and trends, they're going to work for all possible languages, I mean official languages. Subjects, aspects, and outer categories, they're going to work for a specific set of mostly European languages and a couple of South Asian languages. Imagine you want to tag manually specific mentions. That was our second approach, right? So you might be having specific criterias within your big topic. Let's say this is a topic about the benefits of the hair care products, and I want to distinguish mentions related to a specific brand. Let's say I'm gonna look for Elsef. Like the, oops, sorry, just misspelled. Elsef. So Elsef is a pretty big brand, right? And we might be in need of tagging those mentions. So what you can do manually is you can assign the tags one by clicking here on the Add Tag button. And by creating a specific tag for Elsef, we would be able to assign this tag, right? Or we can do that in a bulk. Let's say we have 31 mentioned here. We can click here, go to the tags section, and just assign all 30 mentions right away with the tag Elsef. Once I clear out the results and hover over to the tags here, you will see that I will have the folder specifically for the mentions related to Elsef. And there will be no need for me not ever again. It will be no need for me right now to filter out those mentions once again, right? I'm gonna just click and I'm gonna see all those 30 mentions that I had within the last 30 days in my account. However, as I mentioned earlier, this is the manual approach. And obviously, if you have big topics that have thousands, hundreds of thousands of mentions, you won't be able to do that manual. And actually, like, there is no need for you to do that manually, because you can do that. You can just teach the system to do it once, and the system will do that for you, and on a regular basis, right? So how you can do that? You can type again Elsef, let's say here, and click on search. And instead of like assigning the tags manually here or here, you can just simply hover over to the magic stick that you have right away here, click on it, and assign the action. So this is basically the button that gives us a certain variety of rules that we can assign. And if you go to the very first one, it's going to be a specific rule that assigns tags. So all you need to do, you have to click on the add button and either pick up one of the existing tags that you already have, or just create a specific one that you need. I do have already one for Elsef, so I'm going to apply it. And the last thing that I need to do is just to pick up whether I want to tag just future mentions only, or both in future and collected mentions retrospectively, and click on the create the rule button. So what happens next? Basically, the tool will tag mentions retrospectively as deep as you have data, right? Even back to like 2020, I don't know, 2015, maybe you have such long data as well. And it will assign those tags for Elsef always automatically. So no matter when you will go to the tool once again, you will always see the mentions here under the Elsef tag, and it's going to be updated constantly, right? And what was next? So it was the smart text. Unfortunately, I don't have an ability to show you like the full approach with the smart text, but you can request it from your customer success manager to test this functionality. Why I cannot show it to you via this call? Because it requires some time to teach the system how you manually assign the tags. They would look pretty much as they look like here. So they would just probably have a different wording saying that this is like, there is a list of smart tags and there are regular tags. However, what you will need to perform from your end in order to teach the system your behavior, you would need to tag manually a certain amount of mentions that are relevant for you, 1,000 of relevant mentions, and 1,000 of irrelevant mentions you will need to send to the bin. So once you have this 1,000 mention of relevant and 1,000 of mention not relevant mentions processed, we would be ready to initiate the machine learning process and the smart tags gonna be assigned starting from that moment of time right away to your mention. So once you have your tags ready, just give me a second. We basically create those tags and segments and therefore overall filter the data because it helps us in the data analysis. Because in many cases, once you create the topic, it might be probably either too broad or it can consist of different subcategories inside subtopics and so on and so forth. And in order to easily navigate through the analytics and let's say create dashboards based on specific segments of the data, that's why actually you need your tags in your topics. And I would say that from my experience, what I see, like most of the clients are using the tags because it's obviously quite convenient, right? So as you can see here, I'm starting to talk about how tags are helping us with the analysis. And the first and the foremost, what we usually do with the tags is we work with the general analytics section, right? So once we go to the general analytics section in the existing topic where you have tags, you would be able to filter out your entire stats based on the list of the tags you have. Also, you'd be able to work within the tags section here, close to the overview. In case you don't have any tags in your topic, this section would be blank, right? And what's even great is that your tags could serve you as the custom aspects. And let me show you all these three killing features, so to say. So let's get back to my hair care product topic. And as you can see, usually when you have a broad topic, you would have like a big amount of mentions that are covering everything from everywhere. Let's imagine I want to analyze just a specific set of dimensions. I would just simply go to the tags or to any other filter. I mean, you can segment via these filters as well, aspects, auto categories. Tags are just the most representative thing to show you, right? So let's say I would like to analyze what's happening within the repair category. So these are dimensions that where people are generally talking about the hair products and how they affect the repair of their hair. I can apply it, and my stats here, they will gonna turn into the stats specifically related to mentions under this specific tag. So as you can see, my amount of mentions dropped by 3 times. And if I would go to anything like sentiments, aspects, or sources, all this statistical data will represent me the scope of dimensions that is under this specific tag. If I would hover to the tags and get rid of the tag here, I would see overall analysis of all tags that I have in my account, like what is the timeline for their appearance, how many mentions each tag has, and what is the sentiment distribution by each tag. What's great about this section here is that you can very quickly make a comparison analysis once you have those tags. So again, here I have tags related to benefits of the hair care products. I can disable the smaller groups of tags, and like for the better visibility, I can keep just these 3 tags, repair, shine, and hydration, and I can see what is the dynamics, right? Which type of the benefits is performing better compared to the other, whether there are any spikes or drop downs, not the drop downs, the decreases in the conversations around those 3 benefits. And again, I can see what is the share of sentiment and so on and so forth. And coming to the third point that I mentioned is the fact that once you have your very unique and customly created tags, you would be able to bring them to this view here, which is called aspects. Usually here we have predefined aspects. Those are all aspects that you see here in the list, such as health effects, smells, functionality, packaging, quality, and so on and so forth. This list of the aspects is a good fit for, let's say, FMCG brands, the enterprises that are selling some goods, beverages, providing some customer service, restaurants, chains, and so on and so forth. But there are businesses that are obviously within those common areas or spheres of the business, right? And you might have your own aspects that you would like to analyze. And actually, this hair care benefits topic is a very good example of how you can utilize this functionality here. So as you can see here, there is an add section and add custom aspect button. If I click on it, I will see the list of the tags I have here, and I can bring them to this view. So let's say I'd like to analyze volume, shine, repair, and protection, those 5 tags. I can bring them to the chart, and my graph here will represent the data specifically within those tags. And I can clearly see right away that there are more positive conversations related to repair rather than to volume, right? But still, the amount of negative conversations related to the repair is still up as well, like proportionally bigger compared to the volume. But if I would add another aspects, let me just find hydration, I think. If I would add hydration, I will see that, for instance, hydration has the best performance out of all benefits, and it has like almost no, close to zero negative mentions, right? However, repair and volume still, and even the shine still have specific amount of negative conversations around it. So obviously, brands that are producing hair care products are really, really successful in the benefits such as hydration, but still like there are certain problems within the other aspects such as repair. You can convert it into your business sphere and come up with your own custom aspects. And you can utilize this chart specifically to your own needs. Moving on, what we can do additionally with those segments or tags and filters. All our reportings, alerts, and notifications, they could be built also around any type of filters that we have, excluding tags, actually. So anything that you will see in the filters, such categories as word of mouth, sentiments, subjects, countries, geographies, anything that's within the filter section could be used as the filter for the reports or alerts or notifications. So basically, all you need to do is to pick up a necessary filter, add up a schedule, in this case, as in the regular reports, and pick up the assigned person, like the recipient, who will receive those either weekly or daily reports and at specific time, specific day of the week, right? What's great about the reporting is that you can assign those reports not only to the people who have access to YouScan, like yourself, but also to people who didn't have the access to YouScan because they won't work with it on a daily basis, but they still need to see some insights to be, like to keep their hands on what's going on. So you can add here the external emails of your colleagues or stakeholders, and they will get those reports based on the filters you have here on the bottom. Next one is the alerts. So reports and alerts is a little bit different thing. It's quite similar, but still different. So reports are just the email reports. So you get them in a like kind of designed form. So it has its outline. It shows you, let's say, how many mentions per specific time period you've got within those filters. What is the examples of those mentions? What is the sentiment distribution? So it's like an overall report, predefined report, right? And alerts is something a little bit different. So alerts is just the mention stream within specific filters that you can get either to your email or to any of the messengers that we can integrate within YouScan. So it could be WhatsApp, Telegram, Microsoft Teams, and Slack. So again, email reports, they are kind of like designed in a specific form, and the alerts is just a raw data that goes through to your email or to your messenger. But the logic is the same. You just pick up specific filters, as you can see on my screenshot, and you click on the alert sign, and you again specify the details of like to whom you would like these mentions to be sent, to what type of the messenger, chat, person, and so on and so forth. Let's just quickly see that in the tool as well. So if I will go to the all section here, if I would like to create a report to like email report, I would hover over to the bottom here, click on the reports, and would just create a report based on my criteria. So as I said, you can pick up specific time frame, you can pick up period from, and you can pick up the recipients. And here are those filters that you can use for your reports. Let's say you want to get the report of the negative mentions, and let's say from word of mouth. You just click apply, and let's say you want to get it on a weekly basis. So let's say every Tuesday, and then just let's say around 13, which is 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Once you click apply, you're going to start receiving those reports. And again, if you insert here an external user, that's going to be fine as well. Those users will receive those emails. For the alerts, for the alerts, you can do that from the main feed or mention stream. Again, you just filter out the necessary mentions, so let's say negative and word of mouth, and click here on the alerts. Choose the delivery method, either email or messenger. If it's going to be a messenger, you would need to add the integration. If it's going to be an email, you just add the designated email, right? And here you can add more filters if needed, if you forget to add something. And actually what happens next is that compared to the reports that you have, reports are kind of scheduled, right? So you just pick up that you get those reports once a week or once a day. For the alerts like this, you will receive them right away once you see those type of mentions. So imagine the negative mention from YouTube within the category word of mouth appears in the system. It's going to be redirected right away, either to your email or to the messenger. And that's actually a great this is a great tool to keep an eye on some negative spikes, on some crisis situations, and so on and so forth. So basically everything that's within crisis and support management as a use case or brand health analysis, yeah, that is the best solution, I would say. And last but not least, there is an old way of how to do the same things. You can send mentions via the integration one by one like this. Let me see. No, we don't have it anymore for some reason. No, we should have it. Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. So via rules. So we have another option to send mentions via specific rule. And it's going to be pretty much same for predefined filters, or you can use the tags. And this is the only way how you can send something within the tags into your integration. So just via the rule, you apply the tag like this, click on the select all, and then go to the rules, add action, and send it to the email or to the integration in case you have the integration already connected to your YouScan. So basically three main approaches on how to stay up to date all the time with everything that's happening in your account. Great, let's move on. And our next, actually, it's going to be pretty much the last segment of the information that I wanted to share today. And it's the our custom dashboards and how you can work with the segments in the custom dashboards. So those of you who are quite closely working with the dashboards, you probably, you already know this information, but there might be also users who've never did that on their own. And it's the fact that we can build up the charts in our custom dashboard based on tags or any other segments, filters. And your entire custom dashboard, it might have up to 30 widgets, and every single widget might have different filter options, or could be based on different tags. So as you can see, the easiest and the most common use case for tags within the dashboard would be just to represent the tags, the top tags. Let's say in my case, it's the topic for hair care once again, and I do have like a lot of tags related to different things like ingredients, benefits, claims, and I can see what are the most like the best performing tags, best performing categories, so to say. So I was able to create such a widget just because I had those tags already like predefined and ready in my topic. If I would have just a pure blank topic for hair care without any data segmentation, I wouldn't be able to create such a detailed segmentation of the data, right? And the next option is just to build up like a line chart representing on how each of the tags is performing, what is performing better, is there any spike again, pretty much similar to what we've seen in the analytics, right? The next thing which is great about the tags is that it's pretty similar again to what we've seen in the analytical section, is the fact that within the widgets on your dashboards, you can hide specific tags if you don't need them to be represented on the chart. If you hide them on the level of the widget creation, they're gonna disappear fully from this view. You can see currently them grayed out. I just kept it like this for you to understand that you can just disable from the view if that's needed. And if you're working with the ready solution, like the ready dashboard, you can just disable them and your pie chart will transform into the chart that will have just those tags that are colored. The next thing is something that we already discussed in one of the previous meetings, is the fact that within one widget, we do have an ability to create, like to pull data from different topics using our thing called segments, right? So as you can see in my screenshot here, I do have 2 topics. And so data is being pulled from 2 topics, the skincare ingredients topic and hair care benefits topics. And on top of that, if I do have the segmentation in both of this topic, I can even analyze just part of the data that is available in every single topic. It could be not only the tags. I mean, the tags is just quite easy again to represent the functionality in this way, but using the filters section here and here, you'd be able to segment differently both of these topics, and you will have like 2 bar charts for 2 different topics. Moreover, using those segments, you can even represent different date ranges. Let's say you would like to represent the data for skincare within this year and hair care benefits for the last year. Or it could be converted even in a better way. So you could have twice skincare here in the first segment and the second, and just use different date ranges for this year and the previous year, and you would have a timeline like the comparison of 2 years. You can go even with 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You just need to add more segments in your widget. And last but not least, I would say that this is the last one for today almost, is the ability to use filters and tags on top of everything that you have in a dashboard. So basically, we were just covering right now the ability to filter out the data within each widget that you have on your dashboard, but you can also use the filtration on top of the whole dashboard. And this is great for cases where you need to, let's say, either very quickly see what is happening. You have, let's say, one master dashboard that covers all your needs in terms of reporting. And you have several tags in your topic, and you need to understand how each tag performs. You can simply filter out each tag. Or let's say if you would share this with external users, using those filtration options, you'd be able to create many URLs, external URLs, with different filters like saved within the URL. And if you would send, let's say, 5 different URLs within different filters to different stakeholders, they will see different data. So let's say you would send one with the tag hyaluronic to one group of stakeholders, and then just change the tag to, let's say, glycolic, another ingredient, right? And send it to another set of stakeholders. Basically, in the backend, in YouScan, you will have still one dashboard, but it's going to represent 2 different types of data for 2 different stakeholders. Let me show that to you as well very quickly how to do that. So if I will go to the dashboards, let's just go to hair care here. So again, imagine this is a master dashboards. I have a lot of data here. As you can see, it represents many things, but it's all built on the whole mention stream, the whole data set that I have in a topic. What I can do now, I can just go to filters And let's say I wanna rebuild my data based on negative mentions only. I would click on the negative and my graph will changed accordingly, right? So this is gonna be the stats specifically within the category of dimensions that are negative. And as I said, if I click here on the three dots, I click on the share, copy the URL, I will be able to show this set of the data to somebody. So everything that is negative within the negative tag, right? I would go back to the tool, go to the filters, pick up the positive one, get rid of the negative. Click on the three dots here, again, share. And as I said, it's going to be two different dashboard, externally, of course, right? So if I would take a look at the data, I'll see that it's all based on the positive mentions. It's pretty convenient in case if you don't have the access to the unlimited option of dashboard creations, because on the most of the plans, you get just one dashboard. And this is quite a limitation for some cases where you need to have many dashboards. So this is like a workaround. So you can just simply create external links within different filters, and it's going to be converted into something like more customizable. And so far, I would say that enjoy the rest of your day and wishing you a lovely day ahead. And we'll see each other probably in September. Bye-bye.